10-year government bonds with over a 5% yield to maturity. You heard it here first, man. I'm telling you, this is fantastic. There's a lot to be said about these. So I'm going to go into how these things work. These are called U.S. government zero coupon bonds, all right? A zero coupon bond. And a zero coupon bond is probably the most simple investment you can make. Basically, you buy a bond at a discount price and it matures at par value. So let me give you an example here. So we're going to go into, we'll start with this one right here and we'll come down to Apple here later on. But I want to start with this one right here. All right. So these are U.S. Treasury strips, matures 11/15/2033, so that's 10 years from now. You see, it has zero coupons, so you're not making any money. There's no interest that you're making, no income. But what the issue is, it matures at 100, but you're buying it right now for 60. All right, so what you do is you take your trusty calculator. You're saying, okay, I'm going to buy this at 60 is my present value. My future value is 100. There is no payment. It's 10 years, 10N. And that is my interest right there, 5.24. Now, the drawback is you don't make any money until it matures. But the best thing about it is, like, I know for a fact in 10 years, if I put 60 in it today, I get 100 in 10 years. Dude, man, there used to be zeros when I first started that paid like 7. I remember what would happen is you'd have these guys at annuity companies. It was a great strategy. I liked it a lot. And what they would do to guarantee the return of principal, I loved this strategy back then. That's why I used to hawk these freaking variable annuities. I said, they're great. Why? Because you're guaranteed to get the money you put back in. All right, so what would happen is let me think about this for a second. One sec. That's what it was. So what would happen is you put $100,000 into a variable annuity, right? And what the variable annuity would say is, we'll guarantee in 10 years you get nothing less than $100,000. We'll guarantee you that. How they did that is they took half of that $50,000 or half of that $100,000 and they bought a zero coupon bond. And they said, now it might have been 60. Maybe it was even back then. Maybe it was even 70. It might have even been 70,000. I think it was. I remember that. It was like, I think it was. I don't think it was anywhere near where. I can't remember. But 70,000. They'd take, of your 100,000, they'd take 70,000, they'd buy 100,000 zero coupon bond. All right, so that means you dropped in 70,000, you get $100,000 at maturity. And then they'd take the other 30,000 and then invest it in stocks. We'll just say VTI. All right, now I'm not worried about fees at this stage or anything like that, but it was $70,000. I remember that's exactly what it was, because they used to have these wholesalers. This wholesaler from Ohio National or Pac Life. I used to use Ohio National, Pacific Life, because they were the only two that I knew of that had, I don't think John Hancock did, but they had a guaranteed return of principal after 10 years. So they say we're going to carve off $70,000. We're going to buy a zero coupon bond that matures in 10 years at 100. That's where you're guaranteed a principal. We're going to put $30,000 in VTI. It'd be whatever, just to get some growth, hopefully, and to cover your fees, because all of these things have fees. And the question is, how much would this grow? Would that grow enough or not? We don't know, but we know for a fact if this one went to zero, you're still going to get the $100,000 back. And because they're charging all the fees on this, the $100,000 also had income benefits too. It's so simple, so simple. So in your case, you say, okay, I got $100,000. I'll buy a zero coupon bond for $60,000 today. I tell you, I think that's better than what's ever been in my career. Anyway, so I'm going to buy a zero coupon bond for $60,000 today. It'll mature at $100,000 in 10 years. I'm going to take my other $40,000 that I was going to invest, and I'll put that in the markets. And then they offset each other. I mean, for a fact you'll get your money back, guaranteed in 10 years. And then the question is, what does the other $40,000 do? Does it go up or down? It's a great strategy, man. Anyway, so then I saw this, because I read this article yesterday. It said Apple bonds were paying 5%. I said, no way. And sure enough, look at this. Now this is not a zero coupon bond, but it's pretty doggone close. So here's an Apple bond that matures, is called in 2030. I can't actually remember it. Yeah, right there, matures in 2030. So even though it says callable bonds, so when you're looking at bonds, be careful of saying only non-callable, because this is a callable bond. Okay. This is a callable bond, but it is called when it matures. So it's weird. Anyway, long story short. So if you did not if you're doing your research on bonds, you would have put in here non-callable. This would not have shown up, just FYI. So just be careful there. Just because it's callable doesn't mean it's going to be called this year. Anyway, so here's a bond that's got a coupon of 1.25. All right, now that's not quite my phone's just ringing off the hook here all of a sudden. So this is a zero coupon. You make no interest on this. You just buy it at a discount and you get it at 100. That's it. Here is a 1.25 coupon. So for every $100,000, you're getting $1,250 a year. Not enough to buy a tank of gas under Bo Jiden's economy. But anyway, but what happens is you're buying it at such a discount. Here is 77, excuse me, and it matures at 100,000 or 100 if you want to use that. It doesn't matter. So we're putting in 76,000, 77 essentially. Will mature at 100, so we're going to get that 23 of appreciation. In the interim, we're going to get 1.25% a year of interest, and that will be our yield to maturity is 5.318. All right, that's fine. I mean, at least you're getting a little bit of interest, but frankly, that's 2030. That's just 3 years. I mean, that's only 7 years maturity. This one's 10 years maturity, and this is government guarantee. And that's Apple. I mean, you can't get any better risk reward than Apple rating for sure. Both those look pretty fantastic to me. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. People would say, I'm happy if I just get 5%. Now you're getting 5% guaranteed. Now, would you do this if you need the income? No, you don't do this if you need the income. That's where a SPIA comes in. So you got a zero coupon bond and you got a SPIA. SPIA gives you the guaranteed income. A zero coupon bond gives you the maturity at $100,000 in the future. We can do another SPIA if you want to keep up with inflation or something like that. Such a great strategy, a SPIA and a zero coupon bond. Man, it's such a great strategy because zero coupon bond, for a fact you're going to get a guaranteed rate of return here. What did I say, 5.25, something like that. And then you got the SPIA over here, which gives you a guaranteed income for right now with no risk, none. Oh man, it's a great time to retire. It's a great time to retire, man. So let's just say you carve off $100,000 in a SPIA. You got $200,000. You put $100,000 in a SPIA. That'll pay you. I think the average rate right now is about 6.5. I think so. That pay you $6,500 a year, and then you take your other $100,000 and you put it in and then you put in that case you put 60,000 of that 100,000. Oh yeah, let me do that real quick. So let's see here. What we'll do? Oh man, check this out. Ooh. And look, I'm just spitballing here. I didn't even think about this when I started this video. I was just thinking about the freaking 10-year treasuries or the 10-year zero coupons. All right, so let's say we got 200,000 to work with. All right, so we're going to take 60,000 and do a zero coupon. So we got 60. We're going to carve off 60,000 and get a zero coupon bond that matures at 100,000 in 10 years. We're going to take 140 at a SPIA. I'm just using a 6.5% distribution yield. So 140 times 6.5%. That's $9,100 a year income. All right, so we're just going to say $9,100 a year of income right there. All right, that's for the rest of your life. Wake up a year from 10 years from that's worth $100,000, and let's say, inflation's killing that or whatever. It'll just use another on that $100,000. We'll use another 6.5% distribution. That's going to be $6,500 a year right there. So that's going to give us about $15,600 of income on a $200,000 investment. 15,600 divided by 200,000. That's a 7.5% distribution. 7.8% distribution with no risk. Dude, man, that's pretty fantastic. Hey, love your thoughts. Don't forget, we go on Locals Live every Wednesday. We had a good time last night, a lot of fun. Join us, $5 a month. We had 32 people there last night. It's fantastic. $5 a month is great. It's the best we've ever had. So that's fun. So every Wednesday, Locals Live. It's in Dubidook, and we'll see you Saturday on live streaming on YouTube as well. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.